Welcome back, everyone. Going into the second part here of episode 96. What were we saying, Max? Everyone is muted.
No, I literally was coming back because I saw it was still like in the about to go into show, and I was like, na 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 na.
Anyways, we're back. What's going on, Adam?
Okay. Well, I spent the break slaving over a hot map for you people.
Nice.
So I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to fight it out. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So later on in that evening, the various students of the Temple of the Moon have gathered to watch what they are only guaranteed practically will be a glorious battle in the sparring, one of the many sparring rooms. So they've got this room. It's in a wider space. You can see around the outside edge. There's like a bit of like grass. There's growing above you. The moonlight is coming down through a window cut into the stone, probably reflected here by mirrors. And then there are these four pillars with glowing stones on them. There is a circle in the middle, and there's this little moat around the outside. And here you are, ready to show off. So, Yota, this is kind of your show. What do you say to like warm the crowd up and like, everybody's here to learn. They're here to watch these two strangers fight.
It's Yota's show.
I don't know why your face is like that, Max. Sorry.
That's the reaction.
I don't know why. I don't know why your face is like that.
I can't do it now.
Nobody does. Nobody knows. So yeah, Yotazo, why don't you let us know what is the deal? What do we see? How are you addressing the crowd? And what's going
on? Well, first I get out there and I look around and see all the faces, and I grab my my jug, my wine teru, and I raise it to everyone in a circle in the crowd. I assume that all of you were told that we would be drinking tonight.
So when you say that, there are a few people who look at each other nervously, like, "Oh, I thought that was a joke." But there's a group of three monks where one of them is like, "Woo!" And then the others are like, "Shh, quiet, Golden Star." And he's just like, "Yeah, fighting! I love to fighting." And he's like staggering back and forth. And these other monks are like, "Oh, okay, man. Like, yep, just shush. You're embarrassing us in front of the sacred elephant man." So some of them took it very seriously. Others thought it was a joke, but there's a good mix. Right. You see a couple of people kind of like with, wine skins in their hands.
I thank you all for coming here tonight. In my many years, I've studied many different styles of defense, combat, and one that I stumbled upon most literally. I decided that the Arcana had chosen me to impart what I have learned to all of you. There are many herbs and medicines, poultices and potions in this temple that you use to find enlightenment or your form of whatever you want to call it. This is where I found mine. My friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're all just
My
like
friend.
looking at each other like, interesting. What's he talking about?
My very large friend here has agreed to help me display this to you. And perhaps one or two of you may understand and then impart that to the others.
The drunk monk in the back shouts, "Take off your robes!"
Later, that will be the show after this one. That will cost you 1 silver apiece. But I think if any of you have ever had the opportunity to ingest too much wine in one night, you've experienced a sort of fluid motion in your swaying, a lack of pain if you bump your head or fall on your face. And this is where the style meets the opponent.
So Maharib, what are you doing while this is happening?
Very slowly undoing the wrappings on the end of the sword, like for the first time probably since traveling with Ramus and Yolta. Is all of the leather wrappings are coming off.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm just sitting there listening.
So we have agreed,
and
my friend.
There are definitely people. Sorry, I was just gonna say there are definitely people who are just staring as this sword is being unwrapped. They're like, "Whoa, what is this thing?" And they're just like staggered by it. They're just like they've never seen a sword like this before.
My friend and I have agreed to give you a sparring match. And I will display to you what I have learned. And what you too may be able to achieve yourselves. My friend Maharib, I bow.
Mm-hmm.
We will start on opposite sides at the end of the bridge. And once we are ready, we will bow and engage. Is that agreeable to you, Maharib?
I think right as you say that, the last wrapping comes off, and for the first time you see that the hilt of the sword is actually a giant dragon fang, with the tip of it is where the little jewel that's filled with the eye of the dragon. I look up at you as soon as I say that, and then nod, and I go to the other opposite side of the battlefield.
Okay.
Now remember, no killing.
Agreed.
Right, and of course you get heckled at the back. Someone's like, "Boo! Rip his fucking head off!"
I bow, and I kind of fall down on my face a little bit, and you kind of, it's like a wobbly kind of like a thunk on the ground, and I roll over, and then it's inordinately agile and quick, but it's like a kip up.
Right, it's you kind of fall and turn it into a tumble.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Nice. So go ahead and get where you want to stand. Get where you want to start the fight, and then we'll do the thing. We'll roll initiative.
Yeah, PvP.
All right. Yeah, I'm good. Did you want me at the bridge, Zeke? I mean, you're the showman here. Where did you want me to start? Bridge or
No,
did you-
I assume we start the same location, just opposite sides.
Cool. I'll start there then.
All right. Gentlemen, if you please. Roll initiative.
Now I have a flat 0 here. What'd you get? 22. Yikes. I have a 10. There is no way of me beating that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Saosei is up on a platform and is just like, finish him. Yeah, into it. Good. Okay, perfect. So Yotazo, you're first. What are you gonna do?
You hear me like after I get up and I look, make sure he's ready, give him a bow, and then you hear a trunk, my trunk just go.
That was a good trunk noise.
And
It's good, yeah.
it looks like he is 45 feet from me. And due to my monkish abilities, like I have a 50-foot move. So you see kind of a waver into like a step and then like head first like a baby, like with a too big of a head, like run like this.
Yeah, right.
And then but it's so fucking fast that it's strange to see something that big move that fast. And then like just hopefully lightning quick. I strike out with my wine teru, my jug. So I just go and hold on, let me grab it.
Okay.
I meant to
Like
grab
a
it.
skittering, heavy, drunken baby. Got it.
Deadly stagger, baby. Okay.
I have 17 AC, by the way, Zeke. Since we can both see our
Okay.
AC, it doesn't matter. We'll just be upfront about it.
Perfect. Yeah, and then I strike out.
All right.
Big whiff.
Yeah, so is this Maharib, do you block? Do you step out of the way? So I'll let anyone making the roll, you describe the attack, and then if you miss, I'll let the other person describe why you missed or how they defend. So Maharib, what do you do? So Yota comes running in, swings the jug. What do you do? And why does he miss?
I'm going to use a superiority dice and riposte.
As my bonus action, before my turn is done, as my bonus action, I will do
He gets to interrupt you. Maharib has a thing to do first.
Oh, it's a reaction.
Okay. Yeah, it's a reaction to your attack. So you miss, you come
Okay.
staggering in, and then riposte happens. Okay, so you make
19.
the melee attack. You get a 19. All right.
For
Which I
15
believe
damage.
is a hit.
That's almost max damage. Nice. Yeah, for 15 total.
Okay, so Yotazo, you take 15 damage.
Okay.
What does that look like, JP? What does Maharib? What does that look like when he comes in running at you?
I think I was doing the same stature as I was in the previous fight where we were in front of where I like drove the sword into the ground. So I was just sitting there waiting like that. He came at me with his wine taru, and I kind of like deflected it up, and then just came like crashing down on top of Yota.
Just bang on top of the head. Okay. All right. So now you have the rest of your turn to do, Yotazo. So the crowd like gasps like, oh, but he must just be putting this on, right? Like he's letting it seem like this other guy is doing it.
I do 16 damage. Sorry, I have to add the superiority dice to it.
Right.
Go ahead, Zeke.
Okay. So I do let's see. Yep, I'll do patient defense, and I can spend one key I have the dodge action on now, so you roll at disadvantage for attacks this turn.
Oh, okay. As your bonus action.
Yep.
Is that
Okay.
all attacks or just first attack? Can you press send it to the chat?
Dodge action goes to my next turn, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. And what's this ability called?
Patient defense.
It's called patient defense. Yep. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'll put it in chat.
There it is. Okay. Right. So you just dodge as a bonus action. Okay. Sure.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. So yeah. So now he's like staggering and during like hard to get a handle on. Maharib. It is.
Yeah, I'm making a big show of like how much it hurt, how much he got me, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like my fucking head.
Oh my head.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. That's good.
So first,
Guys who are crowing about his second attack, that was his reaction, assholes.
yeah, that
He
was
hasn't even
reaction.
attacked.
Do you get a second
Yeah.
attack though? Because you only attacked me once.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and then it's Maharib's turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Take a swing. Do it.
Oh, the crit.
Ooh! So this is the like you get bonked in the head, stagger one way, and then what? Yeah, how do you bring it back around for that crit?
So barked on the head. I'm waving. I'm ready to do the dodge action, and then my second attack comes up. Like hopefully, like I kind of cribbed my jug, like below my head and leg and stuff, and then I just come up with it just. And then add like my trunk and then a kick, hopefully
Right.
with flurry blows.
the old upper jug.
It's
Yeah,
flurry blows
okay.
bonus. Wait, flurry blows is bonus action, right?
Yeah, I think so. You've already used your bonus action, but this is just your
Yep,
second
okay.
attack that you
This
get.
is just my second attack. So I just come up and I do a little hitty hit with my wine jug and
Okay.
13 back at you.
Okay.
I'll use now. Let me just. Can I use this? Because I already used like one reaction. Can I use Stone's Endurance?
When you take damage, you already used your action, so no, you can't.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't say if it was an action. Okay, great. Yeah, I just take
Yeah.
the damage then.
And I apologize
And
for calling
then-
chat assholes. They were talking to me about the second attack.
And then Zeke, do you have do you have stun? Do you want to use your stun? Is that a thing you can do when you hit?
I thought that was a part of flurry blows, or is it not?
I'm not sure. I'm just gonna look.
When you hit another creature with a melee weapon attack, there's something
You
that's
can spend a
hooked
key.
onto
You can
flurry.
spend a key. Nope. This is just the stun. So do you want to try to stun Maharib?
I'm thinking of the drunken technique. That's hooked on to flurry of blows. The stunning strike is not. So yes, I can do that. So I
Okay.
can spend one more point and try and like stun you. Constitution saving throw DC 15.
All right. Here's the counter roll. 23.
Oh, big boy!
I roll with a +9 on there, so it's kind of an easy save.
Clonk.
I think like last minute I moved the blade in the way of the stun, or of the like whatever strike was going to stun me. I would assume the stunning strikes are like targeted strikes on the body somewhere. Zeke, is that how you would imagine it, or?
Yeah. It's something that will incapacitate you for one round.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now it's my turn.
Yep.
All right. So first attack, I want to use trip attack, which is another superiority dice. So I need to hit first and then use this, reading the thing. So here's first attack. So I'll just give myself superiority back. That's crit.
Oh no!
It's an 18 actually.
Oh, because I have
Right?
disadvantage?
It would be a crit. It would be a crit, except disadvantage. That's right. That's a
still
close
hits.
one.
Close. All right. I don't know what's going to happen when it rolls this. So is it the... Do I just take the first die
It's-
then? 16?
Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah.
Okay, so 16, and then you need to make... I got to roll a d10. You need a strength saving roll, or you go prone. So it's 21 more damage, and then strength saving roll.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and then a strike save throw.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
What's your
against-
DC? What's the DC?
Let me look. 17. So you don't have advantage on that, right?
No. Mm-mm.
All right, so knocked prone. Now, do I get, since his patient defense was on, does that last when he's knocked prone at him?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
It
so then
stays.
it's
He's
just
still taking the
negated.
dodge. It's still taking the dodge action. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it just makes it a regular attack.
Yeah, regular attack. All right, here's second attack. Ooh, a 1. So, I misjudged the swing. It
Yeah.
just
Well, he's like
completely missed.
he's rolling around, so you hit the floor, right?
Right. Okay, then I'm going to action surge, so I get 2 more attacks. And I'll make another
So I'm not pulling any punches.
I'll make another attack with Bahath. 21, I'm assuming is a hit.
Yeah.
19 damage on that. And then
Okay.
what do I see right now for Yota? Like, are you looking bad, Zeke? Or are you still
Great
standing?
question.
Yeah, I got 1 HP left.
I think I see this, and like I realize that I'm just absolutely demolishing him in front of like something that he's trying to foster in this fight, and I'm gonna start like throwing my punches, like throwing my blades, so that he can like be the one to defeat me in front of his
Okay.
audience.
Okay. Now, so are you trying to hide this from
Yes.
the crowd?
Yes.
Are you trying to hide it from Yota as well?
Uh,
Why don't you make a performance check,
Yeah.
and I'll have Yotazo and the crowd do
That's a better way.
Yeah, and I'll have them do insight checks.
13.
Okay, Yota, make an insight check. I'll roll one for the crowd. Oh, okay, so you can tell right away. And they get.
Crowd should get disadvantage.
Ooh,
They have no
3.
idea. Yeah,
Nice.
the crowd has no idea, but Yota, you see him take a swing, and he's like, and like misses you on purpose.
Oh, so the second swing you didn't even roll yet?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to. I
I'm
think
not
he
gonna roll
just
damage
hits the
right now.
ground.
Yeah, it just hits the ground next to you. Like I purposefully make it look like you somehow dodged it while being prone, etc. And then that would be the round.
Okay.
So it is your turn, sir.
Okay. I do, let's see. What is it called? There it is. The tipsy sway. When you're prone, you can stand up by spending 5 feet of your movement rather than half your speed.
Oh, that's sick.
Okay.
Okay, so I get up and I look at him and I'm just fucking bloody and just completely outclassed, and it's just I can tell like this person is going to kill me. And also
he could if he wanted to, yeah.
and also I look around in the crowd and they can see what happened.
Yeah, but they don't
I-
seem to be able. They can't tell. They can't like. They're just like, oh, you missed. Like, what's going on? They're still very much like in it.
Right. But I can tell.
Yes, you can.
I put up my hand to Maharib, and if he allows me, I'll walk to the center of the ring.
Yeah, I don't stop you. I have no idea what you're doing, but I don't stop you. Like I'm still in attack stance. I haven't
Okay.
like calmed.
And I kind of look around to everybody in the crowd, and I go, I've dishonored myself, and I've dishonored all of you. It appears that what I have learned is not what I thought it was. Let this teach you a lesson. to take with you forever after. I pulled out my robe. I bleed just like all of you. There's no need for reverence to any other creature, because we're all made of the same blood and bone, and heart and gut and lung. I will not have any of you bow or speak to me with reverence, or speak to anybody else with reverence. For we are all equal. And we all die. I walk out and I leave.
Yeah, and there's just this like this weird kind of like silence falls over the crowd. Do you want to make a performance check? Let's see how this impacts everybody. What would you want? You want them to like go ahead and like take away from this? It's not about what they thought it was about. This is kind of the like the Zen riddle of like, I went to watch the masters fight and all I learned was that fighting is pointless. Like this idea of like, yeah, like it's the slap in the face Zen cone, right? Not the like, I learned cool fighting techniques. Okay, yep. make that performance roll. Maharib, willing or not, helped you. So go ahead and roll it with advantage. Okay. 12. All right.
God, I have advantage.
They all kind of like look at each other, and most of them are confused and like, oh God, what do we do? Like, this is fucked up. But a few of them, you can see them nodding and being like, yes, my shit is flipped. I totally have a different understanding of this. And then as you walk away, you hear the drunken monk vomit into the pool, and his friend is just patting him on the back like, it's okay, buddy, it's okay. And the guy's just on his knees like into the pool as you walk off. Yeah, and he's not even watching. He's like, dude, did the elephant guy win? I didn't. What happened? And you walk off. Ramus and also inspiration for Yota and Maharib, obviously. Berg and Ramus, what do we have any reaction from the two of you for this this battle? Do you say anything to because the two of you are kind of watching in the little VIP section by yourselves? But do you say anything?
After that happens and Yota yells and walks away, he's like, that Berg regards it as like, yep, somebody lost. Cool.
Yep.
I think Ramus just sort of toned out and really didn't see any of it. He's been just sort of looking at the architecture in the place and noticing where the humans built over the dwarven architecture and all the just admiring the room, just sort of toned out of the whole situation while it was happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so there's just kind of like a haunted look on Ramus's face as he takes in the world around him. Cool. All right. So Yota, you just go back to your room after the fight.
Just keep drinking.
No, I think I leave the temple if I can.
Sure, yeah. Nobody like stops you.
Because I need some time for self-reflection and probably to sulk a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Maharib, Ramus, and Berg, where did the three of you go or end up?
I think immediately after Yota leaves the arena, I start to wrap the sword back up and put it on my back, and I'll go and seek out Ramus and Berg. And then once I find them wherever, if you guys are still in kind of that VIP section, I just approach and ask, we have several hours until we depart. Is there something the two of you wish to do?
Ramus,
I don't know why, but I want to walk the halls. I feel drawn to this place.
Very well. Berg? We might not be returning to civilization once we go. Perhaps some more noodles.
not a bad idea.
Berg like looks at anybody that's around, like if any monks are around.
You there?
And then yeah, it's the monk that's like taking care of his drunk friend. He looks up like, huh, what?
Where would I get noodles?
There are a dozen or more noodle stands in the village, but they're like to be closed by now. The monastery has a kitchen if you want to go and his friend is like, "Oh, don't talk about noodles. Oh God." And he just looks at you kind of helplessly like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Is there a cook?
The monk shakes his head. He says, "No, we were instructed to cook for ourselves, for guests sometimes, but."
Berg considers for a moment helping his friend with like his newfound touch for noodles, and he's like, "Nah."
Very well. No noodles, it seems.
Perhaps we should search for Doug.
Maybe. Where did the elephant one go anyways?
I am not sure. I have my worries about him.
Pride. And pride.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's my favorite
but
Jane Austen novel.
Berg, I'm sure you're aware. In combat, pride does not matter, only the strength that one swings their blade. Perhaps he should not be accompanying us on this journey. It is something to consider.
Well, if he dies because pride gets in his way on our journey, that is not our fault. An extra hand is always better. But I see what you mean.
Yes, as long as the death is not on your conscience, it will not be on mine.
I may speak to him if he is not better. Before we leave, we'd better be resting.
Yes,
Good job on the fight.
was not a fight.
Not that you care.
There is some sense of enjoyment in those fights, but as I said, that was not a fight.
Oh, I know.
Very well. Ramus, me and Berg are going to find Doug. Are you going to stay in these halls?
Yes, I want to walk them, explore.
Very well. Do not get lost. And I mean that quite literally.
Right.
I have ways of always finding my way back. Don't worry for me.
I would suspect as much. Berg, we should be on our way.
Let's go.
All right. Me and Berg start to depart.
Yeah. So you separate. We cut to Yotazo. So you've had enough time if you want to have taken like a short rest. If you want to spend any hit dice or anything, there's Zeke.
Okay.
Before this scene.
All right. So let's go. My hit dice are D8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just roll? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Just hit it. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, nice. There you go.
Let's see. 18, 22, 30. Let's do one more. 38 back, so 39.
So you're walking the halls, kind of like sulking to yourself. And you see up ahead of you you see a monk. She's standing in the hall, like leaned against one of the walls, and she's like watching you approach. She sees you come around the corner and sees you walk up. She's wearing dark gray monk's like robes, just like a simple sash, like a dark blue sash belt. She seems to be human. And she looks up. You come up, and unlike most of the people around here, she doesn't bow, she doesn't scrape, she just kind of looks at you, and there's like a little bit of like a sneer on her face when she sees you.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
She steps off the wall and takes a couple of steps towards you. She's maybe, I don't know, like 20 feet away, and she looks you up and down. And she says, I watched you fight. Not very impressive, Gaja.
You say that word with a lot of disrespect.
I have no respect for pathetic things.
Then you have learned the lesson that I set out to teach. You're welcome. I start walking away.
So you turn around to like walk away?
Mhm.
Okay. You see another monk has like come up behind you in the hallway. And this one is about 20-25 feet behind you. And he's got that same like sneer on his face, and you see him like crack his knuckles.
So hold on. He's behind me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I stand like sideways so I can see both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get it over with.
And the girl nods and she says, "Good, less talking this time." And she like bangs her hands together and they start to flicker, and then poof, a bluish fire like bursts up around her knuckles. She grins at you, and then we roll initiative because these two want to kick the shit out of you.
I'm sure
they want to turn. All right, go ahead and roll that initiative for me.
Oops. I rolled a 12. Yeah.
Okay, I will add you manually. All right, you get to go first. You're like, let's get this over with.
Let's see. I am honestly like, I'll let them take the initiative.
Yeah.
I'll just do
Okay.
I'll just do the dodge action, not spend a key
Right.
point.
Okay. So you take the dodge action, and they rush towards you, and they start taking swings at you. So let's see. The first monk, she runs in. She takes a swing, and she gets an 8, a 6, and a 9. So is this just you like casually swaying back and forth while she tries to punch you with her hot fists?
Yep. Like in the middle of it, like you see him like dodge the first one like he's supposed to, and then bends down to get his jug from his waist, and then bends back up again to take a drink.
Yeah, right. And so she like takes these 3 swings at you and misses every time. And then her shithead boyfriend is like, let me do it. And he takes some attacks. So same thing, disadvantage. 1, 2, 14, still a miss. So 6 attacks in a row, just them like chopping and kicking and fucking punching. And you're just like, whoops. And they can't tag you. And they're like snarling and like trying to hit you. And they can't. They just can't do it.
Okay.
So now, if you'd like to do something, you're welcome to.
I would love to.
Kill him!
Well, I'm gonna take my first attack at the one with the. Do both of them have glowing fists or just the one?
They both do. Yeah, their fists have like
Okay.
ghostly blue like flames flickering around them. And they're leaving trails of fire as they. It's all very flashy.
Then I'll bap the first one with the wine jug. 15.
Okay. Is this the dude or the lady?
The lady.
It's a dude who looks like a lady.
You miss her. She and unlike you where you dodge, they block attacks. So you swing in and she just puts her hands up and the jug crashes into her like crossed arms.
Okay, and then I'll take my second attack at the fella.
Okay, there you go. So you swing at her, it bounces off. You swing backwards into the other dude. You hit him.
Yep. Okay, and then I will. Yep. I will spend my bonus action to do the flurry of blows, and then make 2 unarmed attacks.
Okay, so roll damage on this attack. Roll damage on this attack first.
Oh, right. That first.
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
Then 17 for the first unarmed.
That's a hit. Yep.
Okay. 10. And then that was to the guy, and then this one's to the lady.
Okay.
I'm just like waving around, like looking like I'm flailing, throwing the trunk out. Yeah.
I love it.
As best I can. And then 12 towards the lady. I haven't hit her once yet.
Yeah, so she blocks again and like slams the jug against the wall, and she gives you this look like, stop fucking around and fight us. Like, stop it. Stop being like this.
Okay.
And then and is there, you get your bonus action, right? Or was that flurry?
Yep. And then I take the drunken technique. Does that cost me anything? Hold on.
Yeah, you used your
doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
Says you learn how to twist
bonus.
blah blah blah. As part of your flurry of blows, whenever you use it, you gain the benefit of disengage action, and your walking speed increases by 10 feet. So
so you can move if you want.
Yep. So I do my drunken, because this is what I was going to do the next round, if I had a next round against Maharib, was disengage and kite him a little bit.
Yeah.
But so I disengage, my movement becomes 60. So I do like
sure.
I move I like dodge, whack, and then kind of like fall over and roll and then spring like up to my feet and then jam out to let's do, they're human, right? They're monks too though. Let's do 50 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're here. Let me see. So you're here. You got to go. You have to go like you can't go through this person. So you got to go like
Oh, okay.
that's out to there. Yeah, it's 50
Perfect.
minus
Okay,
the
cool.
5 for going down that way. Okay. All right. So
Cool.
yeah, you swing the jug out at her. She blocks it, pushes it aside. Then you roll. She stomps the ground. She's like trying to crush you. And you just roll and get up to your feet and like stagger away.
Mhm.
And then and then they get to go. Now before they do, Ramus, you are wandering the halls of the Temple of the Moon when you hear what sounds like a fight. You hear grunting and punching and angry breathing from around a corner up ahead of you. You want to go investigate?
I'm hearing the sounds. I'm like, what is that? And go to find out what it is.
Okay. You come around the corner. That's what you see. You see Yota and these two monks, and they seem to be fighting. So if you want to, go ahead and roll initiative, Ramus. You don't have to necessarily jump into the battle, but you let me know if you're gonna do anything.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll add you in there. Okay. So the adepts, they're gonna go. When you stagger away, the closest one runs towards you. And as he's running towards you, his friend, let's see, what's the range on these? 20 feet. She moves. Let's see, their movement rate is they can move 40 feet. So she moves 40 feet. And as she's running, she reaches into her robes and pulls out a handful of silver, like sharpened metal crescents, like in her knuckles, and she flings them at you as she's running. So the first one is a 13, which is a miss. If you get hit, don't forget your deflect missile.
Yep.
The second one is a 15, and the third one is a 6. Okay, so do you dodge these? Do you deflect them? Do they just hit
I
you and you don't
imagine-
notice them? Like,
Yeah, I imagine like my thick skin, they kind of like you have to like find the purchase like in between like the rough leathery hide of an elephant. So it's like they stick in, but
thump, thump, thump,
kinda
and they're just
like-
like
I'm trying to grab it with my trunk, but kind of missing, trying to pull it out.
and all your buffoonery is just pissing her off. She's just like, "Ugh." And then her friend is going to take three punchy swings at you. So
Okay.
first swing is the first successful hit. Okay. So you take let's see, 11 bludgeoning.
Okay.
So you flick off the throwing moons, and then he punches you like square in the solar plexus. You feel like a shock ripple through you. Can you make a Constitution saving throw?
You bet.
Okay, all right. So you're like karate chops you in the throat or something, and you're stunned. You got a 7, so you're stunned. So this is a familiar feeling. You're used to this from training. This is what happens when you get that punch. So yeah, you're like trying to breathe. You get punched real hard, and then he makes 2 more quick attacks, and these are at advantage. So 1 and 2. And the first one, actually, both of them, your hide just protects you. So he's just like, like punching a fucking sandbag, and he's not hurting you. He's just slamming into you. And he looks back at her, and she's looking at him like, "Why didn't you not like do it, dude? Like, hit him harder, moron!" And he's like, "I'm hitting him as hard as I can." They have this look back and forth between them. So, Yota, you can go. And they definitely have not noticed Ramus. But Ramus, are you like peering around the corner, or have you walked out into the hall?
I walked down to the hall. I
Okay,
not
so
making
you
any notice to hide myself. Yeah.
Okay, so Yota, at the end of the hall, you see Ramus.
Yep. And I'm
But it is
like,
your
they're
turn.
like punching me in the gut, and then I if I notice Ramus, and can we lock eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
The mask has
So I
come
just-
off, and you see
I just
this
look at-
grin on my face.
I look at him and I just shake my head like,
Yeah.
and then I fucking attack. Oh wait, am I stunned
So
for
you're,
how long?
yeah,
am I
you're stunned.
for?
I wanted to let you like you can make eye contact and like nod and like move around, but no, you can't take any actions. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to react to seeing Ramus.
Okay.
So you were stunned until the end of the next turn. So Ramus, you're gonna get a turn. What are you gonna do?
I'll just move up 60 feet. I think that's all I'll do for my
Okay.
turn.
Cloak fluttering in the suddenly appearing breeze,
Yes.
lightsaber clutched in your hand. All right, yeah. All right, so the younglings continue their pummeling of Yodazo. So she jumps into the fray, and they're gonna get attacks on you while you're stunned. So here's her attack. So she runs in, and that's one hit for 21 damage. So she runs. She finishes her run with a jump kick, which slams into your chest, knocks you back, and then she follows up with like punch, which is a hit for another 18. Does that knock you down?
Oh, that's. Hold on a second. Where is all that damage coming from?
Her fists. She rolls. She does two damage rolls, two separate 1d8 damage rolls, +3.
Okay.
And she rolled an 8 and a 7 on the first attack, and then the second one she rolled 2 6s.
Okay. So 21 plus what?
Another 18.
Oh, I'm out.
Okay, so she's not dealing like lethal damage. She just wants to like knock you on your ass, which she does. So she's just like flying kick knocks you back, and then just like punch, and you like you feel your consciousness slip away, and you flop to the floor. And she turns. You don't see this because you're unconscious, but she turns to her friend, and she's like, "See, that's how you do Crescent Moonstrike, idiot. It's one kick and 2 punches, and I've taught you this 15 times. You never remember." And he turns to her, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I tried. He's just bigger than." And they don't hear you or notice you at all, Ramus, and that's the end of their turn. Yodazo, you are unconscious, but you don't have to make like death saves or anything. You're not dead. Ramus,
What I'm
would you
having
like
trouble
to-
understanding is like, goddamn, they must be like way higher level than me.
They're
Because,
CR3 like monsters. They're karate monsters. They do +5 to hit, and when they hit, they deal 1d8 +3 damage twice.
Okay.
They don't have key or anything like that, though. Ramus, would you like to do something?
Yes. Seeing these things attack my ally, the only instinct I have is to kill. To kill them.
Sure. Fair.
So
Like you do.
yeah, so it just this rage and just this fiery rage is I just want them to die, and I cast a wall of fire in a circle surrounding them and behind, like a circle of fire
So they can't
around
get
them, through them.
away.
Yes, it's through them and
So-
around them, just out of range of him.
So like
So,
that.
like-
What's the radius on fire?
Basically, I want the circle to cross over where they are, just but not touching.
Oh, like that. So
Yoda,
they're just
yeah.
in the fire. Okay.
Yeah, in the flame.
Okay. Horrific. Good. I love it.
Yeah, so they have to make a dex save or take 29 fire damage. Have them
Good.
save.
Excellent. Here, let me get a little wall, a burning wall in here for you, for effect. Let's go like this guy. Here, make it bigger. Okay, great. A wall of fire bursts into existence. They have to make dex saves not to get roasted. All right.
It's half on save.
Okay. So the lady fails. The dude also fails. And let me check their hit points. They are both incinerated. So it's full on Sarah Connor Terminator 2 like nightmare where suddenly just their flesh and their clothes just bursts into flames. They don't, the air in their lungs escapes too fast for them to be able to scream, and their horribly burnt bodies just crumble like overdone barbecue to the ground.
And just seeing this wall of flame, just this peace washes over me. Just this something has just been cleansed that was bad. All I know it is what I'm feeling. Just I cleansed away the bad.
Yeah. You feel a sense of like purpose, right? Like the fire has committed its purpose. It's done what it needed to do, and you saved your friend. These guys are going to kill him. So what do you do? Do you dismiss the wall and go over there and check on Yoda?
Yeah, dismiss it and go and see if he's okay.
Sure, yeah. And on your way over there, you like step on the burnt skull of one of them and just crumbles in. Yodazo has been punched and kicked a bunch of times, but he's still alive. He's just unconscious.
You just murdered two of them. Just outright.
They're piles of ash now.
I tend to him and try to bring him to consciousness. I guess make a medicine check just to see like if like.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to bring him back, he needs hit points. So you just need to like give him like 1 hit point.
Okay.
Wake up.
Then I will heal him with healing word.
Okay. You speak the word of healing fire, and he comes to. So, Yotazo, you wake up to the smell of burnt hair and flesh. You reach out and feel warm ash in your hands, and you blink your eyes, and your eyes are watering. There's smoke lingering in the air, and you see Ramus, his hideous face hanging over you.
What happened? What happened?
You were being attacked, but it's okay. You're alive. I saved you.
Saved me from what? What is?
There's
Can
creatures
I
there.
look around and see, like, do I know what that is on the ground there? They're like still like husks
I mean,
of
there
body,
there
right?
are recognizable human chunks in this like burnt rubble. Yeah.
What have you done?
These creatures were attacking you. They won't harm you anymore.
They were testing their abilities. The worst they were bullies. And you burned them.
I saved you. They looked like they were going to kill you. They had knives and weapons. They were murdering you. I had to stop them.
You saw me. I looked at you. I shook my head at you.
I saw a cry for help. Faces are distant to me. I just saw your face.
Yeah, make an insight check, Yodazo here. Make one real quick for me.
Fail.
Oh, awesome. So you can interpret this however you want. We as players know that Ramus is becoming distant from humanity, and he's telling the truth, right? He's saying like, I didn't understand. I thought you were in danger. I don't know. Like I'm lost. But you can see him however you think Yota would see him now. It doesn't matter what he's actually feeling. You're cut off from that.
I see now what I didn't see before. You're fire. And that's all. Unfeeling. No humanity. Just feeding and destruction. And I brought you here. And I tried to help you. I can't help you. You must be extinguished.
What do you mean? I just saved your life. You were in danger.
No. You did what a fire does. You consumed.
What are you saying?
I'll give you a choice. You have an hour to leave this temple and this town. Go on your quest. Or I bring the temple down upon you.
That was the wrong thing to say to me. Do you have any idea of what I'm capable of? How dare you say that to me? I'm just fuming with rage.
And the fire shall consume me as well then.
Indeed
Is that
it
what you're
shall.
saying?
Yes.
So what do you do? Is this going to be like you're like, cool, I'm going to burn you with fire, or is it like you're on like last legs here? Like how does Ramus respond here? Like you're feeling that fire burning inside you. What do you do with it? Right? It's a big question. I mean, we can talk about it. We can talk about it as players too, right? Like, so there is an opportunity here for like a roll, or like if you don't want to make that decision, there's a like turning the other cheek thing that Yodazo can do here. This like, I'm walking away, you have time to leave, Ramus, and you just kind of smolder to yourself. Or if you think the appropriate thing to do is be like, here, have some fire magic, then that obviously is a thing that we can do. What do you guys think? Berg just sitting there eating noodles like, oh, something's wrong.
Good.
Like Ramus, you can, if you want, you can try again to like explain yourself, but it also sounds like you're like you're like, yeah, I am like that. Fine, I'll be that way. But yeah, I wanna like talk about the thing, like the way forward, right? Because it doesn't have to just be like, cool, well, you're not friends anymore and you can't go with him. The other approach here, Yodazo too, is that if, and this is the thing, you can decide whether this is something that Yoda would it would occur to him. If Ramus is just left alone to do whatever he wants, he's just going to get worse, right? Like you're turning away your responsibility by saying like, get out of here, you're on your own, like I don't need you. He's just going to go and burn down a bunch of other shit. If you're worried about what he's going to get up to, keeping an eye on him is a more responsible choice.
But that's like people in chat were making this point too about my insight roll, and the insight roll failing so hard as it did, opened my eyes quote unquote opened my eyes to the fact that this was all a show. This was all an act. I was fooled by Ramus. There is no condition. He's just evil.
Oh, okay. So like a moment of weakness might, or like that might turn it around for you. So like Ramus is mad, but maybe instead of being like, I'm gonna burn you, then you get to see like something and say maybe Ramus can't contain that power and it like hurts him. And because is that something that would change Yoda's mind to be like, oh, like you are actually like getting burned up from the inside by this terrible thing because you think it's fake right now.
Yeah, if there was a true act of some sort of like contrition or something that would display to me that this is outside of his control, like obviously outside of his control, would turn me around on this.
Cool.
And turn my mission back to where it was to purging this from him.
I grab your hand. I grab your hand. I'm like, do you feel this? And I hold your hand up to the scar on my face. She burned me, and I pull out the shard. This is from the goddess of magic, of fire. I'm on a quest for her. She's the only one that can help save me. This is bigger than you and I. I have to do this for her and myself.
So the fire is not you?
No.
You are fuel as well, then.
Imagine being in a box, and the box is slowly sinking away. Everything of you is in that box, and you can't stop it. You're fading away slowly, and everyone around you doesn't care, doesn't see that you're fading away, and only one person is offered to help you. The fire keeps me alive because heaven has abandoned me, and I need to live. I know that's a lot to take in, but that's why I'm here. I seek the fire to keep me going long enough to fix what heaven did with their little game.
But are you going to answer for these 2 lives that you've taken and burned?
For right now, I am but a man made of ice, cold, unfeeling. I feel myself slipping. I don't see faces, I see bodies. I barely see you. My humanity is slipping. I can feel it. I don't have much time. Once I'm better, once I can feel again, I will answer for these people or anything I did when I was this way. For right now, I feel nothing to these things here. Even though I know that I should, I see and feel nothing.
There's no way they're going to let us use the bridge now. They'll know it was you. We'll have to make the journey on foot or on cart, and it's a long ways to go.
Unless we push to leave now.
It is still night. The moon is still up.
I
Tell them
kind
you
of
had a
want.
sudden
I honestly kind of want that. I want. And you're like you're not deceiving me at all. This is the truth.
Just
Like,
pure
just play or play.
truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lying's hard for me right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? Like he can't bring himself to be bothered to lie because it's like a human effort.
Okay. Let's see. Can I ask Dan to make a persuasion roll?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 16.
Damn. It's pretty good for disadvantage.
I honestly I had 15 in my head.
Perfect.
All right. I want you to know I'm accompanying you to extinguish the flame inside of you and replace it with something human. Is that agreeable to you?
Yes. I lost what was mine and I need it back.
And we must go quickly now. And you must tell me how to convince them to make the bridge open tonight.
Why, for the great Gaja, anything is possible.
You saw what happened in there. Not so great anymore.
Well, the people doing the ritual weren't there. The news of that won't spread to them quickly enough if we hurry.
Hey, for no reason at all, we really need to go right now. Just don't worry about why. Let's go. Thanks, everybody. Okay, bye-bye now. It's certainly possible, though. This is a big temple, right? You're in a weird back hallway somewhere, and this place is all bendy and weird. So who knows?
Very well. Lead the way.
All
So the
right.
two of you head off. So the two of you head off, and in the meantime, two big muscly boys out on the town. Berg and Maharib, you have left. And where have you gone? What do you do? Where do we find the two of you when we fade in on the two of you?
It's like middle of the night, right? Or is it like 7? Like what time of day is it?
It's like it's dark. So outside, it is dark. The moon is out. It is bright. It's a hot evening, a little swampy. There's bugs in the air because you're in this kind of area. And as you walk down from the mountains, the town is still like awake, even though it's nighttime. So there's like night markets that happen, and it's a pretty lively city, full of people that have immigrated here from all over the rest of the court. So you walk out of the sort of cold stone interior of the Temple of the Moon and out into town. And I'm very much envisioning that part in Conan where Conan and his little bow and arrow friend are like hanging out in the town. There's all stuff going on, and like so there's people all around you like trying to sell you candied fruit and a new sword for the warrior, right? As you walk out among the people. And so where have you gone? Where do we find you? Or are you just sort of strolling through the streets?
I think the goal was initially at least Maharib's goal was to goad Berg into just getting out of the temple so that he could talk.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So the idea of going to Doug's Noodles would be some sort of an appeasement to do that. So that's kind of where we're going to where Doug's Noodle Shop usually is camping out, whatever corner of the district that is. That's kind of where I'm leading Berg, but we're having a conversation as we go.
Yeah, you're talking as you walk across town. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I think like basically as soon as we get outside, there's just like an open-ended statement from Maharib where, so you and Ramus have been traveling for some time?
Yes.
I am to understand that you were, and I don't mean this offensively, but you were once a slave, were you not?
Yes.
How is it that a priest and a slave have journeyed together?
Fate. And where our paths take us. A very odd thing.
This pathway to heaven that Ramus speaks about, do you know of it?
Or nods.
Where does one find that information? It is not something I have ever heard before.
You know, there's a sign on the wall, but you want to be sure.
Where did we first learn about that?
Christ. The vault.
I know. That's why I'm like in my head. I'm like, where the? Gotta think back.
Yeah, it would have been
Devil's
the
Vault.
The Devil's Vault. That's what it was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, right? To get access to heaven for.
Yeah, it was a thing that Ramus desired, and the
The
oracle
person
of the
wanted-
devil showed. Yeah, the door that Kukrit's key could theoretically.
She wanted my dog passenger.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll go into detail about it.
There was another adventure you were on. I don't know if Ramus wants to share everything. Suppose it may not matter to him, but why?
I am just thinking back to this miracle you seemed to perform earlier. I do not know how that occurs. I didn't ask you about it at the time, but it keeps coming up in my mind.
What more do you want to know about that? Even I don't understand it fully.
Understand what exactly?
How it happens.
You say happens as if it's been a reoccurrence. Is that so?
No. That was the first time I tried something. Just to steal that man's soul. Tried to help. Didn't know that would happen.
I'm not sure why I have crossed paths with you and Ramus, but it is interesting. Ramus makes some sense as to what he's doing, but as for you, I cannot fathom why it is you follow him around, other than the sense of friendship you expressed to one another earlier. Is that all that keeps you around?
Ramus has his own things he'd like to change. He has helped me many times, just as I have helped him. A sense of loyalty, a bond over time. I owe him that much. If he were to go too far into the darkness, well, I hope he does not.
And what is that line, Berg? So I know if he does cross it, to keep you true to it.
I don't know. But if it happens, you will know.
I hope that does not occur. While I may not agree with everything that I have seen him do, he does seem to be a good person at the heart of it all.
He is not evil, if that is what you mean.
Evil is a old word. I do not think that works in today's society.
Yeah, like, and this is a quick interesting thing about common. Like, the word evil would translate into like English from Court of Swordsies more like not like the Christian idea of like good versus evil, but more like acting against the will of heaven, right? Like
Right.
fighting one's destiny. And this is sort of the deep-seated thing about these conversations when they come up in Court of Swords is like, what we think of as good and evil, the characters would think of as the right path and the wrong path. The right path being the path that heaven has chosen for you, your destiny, and then the wrong path is acting against your destiny. So it's a little different. I like that Maharib, whose first language is not common and whose culture has a different idea of these things, would be the first to point out like, let's think about what that word means.
Yeah, well, if he says that, I mean, Berg just knows the word, you know what I mean? Like a very simple understanding of it. So when you say that, I guess Berg thinks for a second and he's like,
He's not the Mara.
Well, that is good to know. I smile. Have you encountered any of them before? It is not
Yes.
something I think I like. You interrupt Maharib, but he stops talking as soon as you say yes. You have. You still stand. That is quite a feat.
or just like looks at him. Where if he was more like smug and prideful, it would be like, do you know who the fuck I am? But really, it's just Berg, like
Motherfucker, I've seen some shit you don't even know.
it's mainly just like Berg looking at him like, as a matter of fact, of like,
We were trapped in a drawer.
You have killed the Mara? Is that so?
I don't know if kill is the right word.
I see. My people have not had any experience with the Mara, to my knowledge. They are a foreign entity, so
Yeah, like you know that they're a human ghost, right? They haunt humans. They don't come to tempt your people away. And there are lots of stories among the like shamans of your tribes about why that is, like what protects you. But mostly the cultural story about why the humans are plagued by these demons they call the Mara and why you aren't is because your people are about community. You're focused on each other, whereas humans care only about their own karma.
Right.
For you, if the tribe lives or dies, that's what matters. Whereas with humans, each individual only cares about themselves and maybe like their children as a way to pass on their blood.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say like, they're foreign to me. We don't have those. I've never seen one, nor have my people. So he'll continue. Do these creatures have a form? What do they appear to be?
Dark, twisted, hideous forms of whatever they live in. A goat, a child, a man. It does not matter. Whatever it was before, it is no longer. And then they die. And the Mara slip away like a coward.
I see. I hope I never have to encounter one of these creatures. Is it something that follows you, would you say? These Mara.
I don't know about follow, but fight and live long enough and keep fighting. I imagine one is bound to encounter the Mara.
I have slain hundreds, if not thousands, of people. I have never encountered one. To my knowledge, at least.
Then you are lucky.
I suppose I am. I've probed about your past long enough, Berg. Is there anything you wish to know of me?
That sword,
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yes.
how did you come by it?
It is the soul of a dragon imbued into the weapon. A ritual of my people. I am a guardian of sorts. One to uphold the bonds of the past, as it were. That is why I seek out the embers of Emix to do such a thing.
Right. And your father, mother, who are they?
Village people. I have not seen them in several years. I do not even know if they are alive. But my people are alive, and that is all that matters.
Then how did you join this group?
It's not about joining, I was born into it.
And your mother and father are as well.
Yes, everyone is.
When you say village person, you see what I mean? I misunderstood.
Yes. And to be honest, it is less a village and more a moving tribe. We live off the land. We don't stay in one place too long. We do not wish to harm the land in that way. So, I hope they are out there still.
I hope so too. I do not need to know much about you. Just whether or not I can trust you. And if you fight well. And for now, I think so.
Fair enough. We should return to the temple after we find Doug, wherever he may be. I think like that's right when we like turn a corner and either Doug's cart is there and he's not, or Doug is there.
So here's the thing: you come around the corner and there's Doug's cart, and you see Doug, and he's surrounded by about a dozen people, and they're all dressed in like the scavenged peasant version of like monk's robes. So they're wearing like, one of them is wearing like some drapes, and they're like tied around, and the other's got like a tablecloth kind of wrapped around him. And there's a dozen of them. They're all standing around, and Doug, so you see Doug, and Doug is like, I don't know when he's coming back. I don't know where he lives. I need you people to leave me alone. And he looks up and he sees you, and he's like, oh, hey. And they all turn, and you see, Berg, a familiar face of Disciple Lek, whose eyes widen, and he points and he says, there he is, there's the Messiah. And they run over to you, like shouting, like, Berg, kiss my baby, Berg, I have gout, bless me. And so they come rushing over towards you. What are you gonna do? You got time to run for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I look at Maharib, and I'm just like, like, let's go.
Yeah. I don't think those people are necessarily there for me, so I'll just like, I think I like bend over to, I don't know, loosen or to tighten one of the straps on my boots. And doing so, like the sword swings out to the side to potentially like trip people up that are running by me to go after Berg.
Yeah, so there's about a dozen of them. 8 of them chase after Berg. So Berg, you run off and they chase you. 4 of them like stop and look at Maharib, and they're like, Berg. And then someone's like, no, you idiots, that's Berg. And they're like, oh, and they like run off after him. So they chase you, Berg, trying to like get you like, stop, wait, Berg, wait. And they want to try to like get around you and surround you. So go ahead and let's have you roll athletics to see if you can outrun your followers. The number to beat is 9. You need to get a 9 or better.
Ooh, okay. 27. He's gone.
Try and find me.
So they run and they chase after you, and they stop, and they eventually give up, and they're like taking deep breaths. And Lek turns and he says, and so, faithful, you see, mighty are the thews of Berg. Long-legged is he, runner like the wind, fleetest of feet, holy Berg. Glorious is he, faster than all 4 of the winds. Write this down, write it down. And someone else is like trying to like write down Berg very fast. Yes, good, I understand. And they're like, yes, we have learned this lesson well today, my friends. We must begin our training so that we might run as fast as mighty Berg. Yes, verily, we must learn to run as fast as Berg. And they all kind of like they walk back towards the holy noodle stand where first Berg ate his meal to preach before.
Doug. Although, you know, it's probably good for business. He's just probably annoying.
I was going to say, right? Eventually he's going to have a picture of you hanging outside that says Berg ate here. And he's not just regular Doug. He's Apostle Doug now. He's Doug the Apostle. First apostle of Berg.
Yeah, that's right. And he doesn't actually give a shit.
Everybody, welcome.
Like, noodles.
That's right. Yeah, welcome to the holy noodle stand. I'm Apostle Doug. Original famous Doug. I once met Berg. That's right. Berg ate here. He ate my noodles. Berg ordered the special. It's a little more expensive, but you're going to get the best stuff because only the best for the Messiah. So yeah, you chase them off, and you and Maharib meet up again at the temple.
I did want to make a stop.
Sorry, go ahead.
With the merchant that I gave.
The doctor?
No.
You mean
the merchant that I gave Nunu to.
Right, that you left Nunu with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
your
That's
ass,
Nunu's
right?
the cow.
The ox, yeah.
Cow.
It's an ox. Yep. I don't think that I ever gave this farmer a name. Otherwise, we probably would remember it. Okay. Yeah. So you head back.
Yeah. If I can find him and I see Nunu, I'll approach.
You hear Nunu's like lowing before you see her. And can you make a make an insight check? I think.
6.
Okay. Nunu's in trouble. Like you hear like she's just like upset mooing.
Okay,
That's the subtitle, upset mooing.
gotcha. Yeah, I break into a sprint and go wherever I
Okay.
hear the upset
Right,
Nunu.
yeah. Okay, so you come rushing around the corner and you see this farmer and he's like down on his knees in the mud and he's like begging these 3 guys that are standing around and they're all like laughing and one of them's got a sword and they're just like and they have I don't know, like leather armor on, but it's basically just like tough guy leather jackets and they you see on the back of one of their neck there's like a tattoo of a claw on fire. And the 3 of them are just like hassling this farmer. And he's just like, please, I'm sorry. Like, I'll pay you. I don't have the money right now. And he's like, he looks and as you run up, the guy with the sword points at Nunu and is like, why don't you just give us the cow, old man? And he's like, no, you don't understand. It's not my cow. I'm just watching over this ox. The ox belongs to, and he like looks up and he sees you and he's just like, you've come to save me.
Yeah, I'll casually walk up. I don't want to.
Yeah, so you start walking up and he's looking and he's totally stopped paying attention to these guys. And the guy looks past me. He's like, what are you looking at? And he turns and he sees you and he like nudges his friends. They all turn around with like a rattling of chains. And these guys, we haven't seen guys like this in 90 episodes. But they look like they have bone spikes like through their nose and they have like tattoos all over the place. Their skin is weathered and dark and they have like scars, like ritual like scars on their faces. And they basically just look like they're trying to look scary. And nearby, one of them has a huge gray kind of scrawny looking riding goat. So the goat's got a saddle and the goat has like bones and stuff in its fur. And the goat looks at you like snorts. And he looks at you and he's like, this is none of your business.
Is there a problem here? Does this man owe you something?
And he nods and he gestures and he's like, we take care of this old fool. Make sure nobody else pushes him around, causes trouble. He belongs to us. But our services come at a cost. Now he can't pay. You know how it is.
If I can, I like look behind to see the old man. Is this true?
And he like looks at them like he's scared to say the truth because he thinks they're gonna come back and like beat him up. He's like, I don't know what to say. And he's like down on his knees covered in mud.
You can stand up and speak the truth.
And he looks at them and the tough is like, I like you better in the mud, old man. Don't listen to this stranger. Mind your own business. Unless you think to pay his bills for him. And they're like, yeah, pay us.
Trying to think.
What would Ramus do?
Yeah. Suddenly they burst into flames. They run off screaming. Give him the krill.
I think I look at the 3 of them. I like shift my gaze from the merchant. I do not wish to fight you. That is a pointless endeavor. What is it that he owes you?
And they look at each other, and the guy in the front is like, well, he owed us a little yesterday, and a lot more today. I think 100 pieces of gold ought to cover his debt. And he looks at them like, oh no, I'll never make 100 gold as long as I live. What are you doing?
I'm going to go out on a limb here because I'm not going to pay the 100 gold, but I don't want this man to die.
Yeah.
I think I look... Okay, yeah. I just look straight at him and I say, I am an agent of the Temple of the Moon, and this merchant here is as well. If you have a problem with me or him, you have a problem with the Moon Temple. Now, do you wish to continue this?
And they kind of like look at each other, or they look up at the temple. And why don't you roll persuasion?
All right, I'll use my
This isn't
inspiration.
It's not quite in intimidation yet.
8. Not well.
Okay. The lead tough, he hefts his sword and he says, Temple of the Moon. What do they care about the slums? If they want to come down here and pick a fight with me in their precious white robes down here in the mud, I welcome it.
They would not waste their time, but I will. And I start to like unsheath the sword and like draw it next to
Okay.
me.
Now you can make an intimidation check.
It's still at a -2.
Yeah.
10.
Okay, you get a 10. So you start to draw the sword, and they look at each other, and I'm gonna roll. Hold on, I want to roll something here. Okay, so they're like, you can see the leader is like, that's a big sword. But as he starts to back off, one of the other ones is like, we gotta get that money, and he's like, shut up, and he's like, she's not gonna be happy if we don't pay her. And he's like, I know, fuck, shut it up. And he like holds his sword, and he looks at you. You can see him trembling a little. And he's like, listen, this doesn't have to get messy. You could just pay us 50 gold now, and when we come back, the other 50.
I will pay you nothing, and you will leave.
Look at each other like, this isn't over. And then they turn and like run off. And the goat just kind of like looks at you like, oh, I guess we're leaving, and turns and walks away.
Okay. I like help the old man up. And I look at him. Do you have a family, or is it just you?
He shakes his head and he said, they all died in the south. I only have, and he like gestures at himself and like this rundown like shack that he lives in with a bunch of mud out front, and he's like, only this. And he walks over, and you kind of like butts him a little, like, oh, cheer up, old man. And he's just patting her on the head.
You will accompany me to the Moon Temple. This is your new home. I will make a deal. Does this work for you? They will protect you.
Yeah, and he looks up at the Moon Temple, and you can see the moonlight like sparkling in his eyes, like, it's so clean up there, and nobody's dying of tuberculosis. That sounds great. And he nods, and he says, you would do that for me? I would devote all the rest of my days to the worship of the gods. I would. I feel them in my heart. Please, if you would speak for me.
Yes.
Oh, blessed are you. Oh, gentlest giant. Thank you.
I walk past him and kind of like rub the back of Nunu's ear and start to...
Yeah, she pulls away from you like, don't you dare. You left me here with this old man. I don't want you.
Okay. And then I like grab either the collar or the reins that are attached to her and start leading him to the Moon Temple.
Okay. All right. So you all head up to the Moon Temple.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Great. Well, rather than start with the beginning of the kind of traveling the moon bridge and all of that stuff, we will work out the Moon Temple biz next time, I think.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That works.
Yeah, let's do it. So we'll start with that scene in the Moon Temple, and you can all figure out kind of what the deal is.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All
great.
right. Well, let's
Cool.
do some shout outs and call it a show. Max, we'll start with you. Some shout outs, sir.
Cool. I'm GassyMexican. First is a point of business. Next week I'll be away on a cruise. I forgot to mention to you, JP. No, I'm GassyMexican. I do all the stuff on the Twitch and YouTubes. Upload some videos on there, and also stream. Variety streamer. Been checking out the forest. I think tonight I'm checking out the Typhon Hunter update from Prey. So space prop hunt. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks as always to Dan, JP, Zeke, and Adam for doing their thing. And we'll see you next week for the next episode. Yay.
Awesome stuff. Mr. DansGaming, some shout outs, please.
Hi, I'm DansGaming, variety streamer on Twitch. Well, not right now. Right now I'm PoE all day, all night. I'll probably be on after this actually, doing mapping all day and night. Thanks for having me on the show today. It was a fun episode. Even though I got pulled away from maps, it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to explore Ramus because he's in such a weird place right now, and it gets like darker and more messed up every time, and I like going in that weird place with him. And I can't wait to continue that next week.
Me either. Ramus just burning fools all day. Zeke, some shout outs, sir.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in today. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III. Thanks to Dan, Max, JP, and Adam for every week making this highlight of my week. Tomorrow's drop frames, of course, and then after that, maybe something is happening after that. But on Thursday, I will be back to Mutant Year Zero, which I'm loving. Hopefully, probably just one more cast, maybe 1.5 to finish that game up. So that's what's happening. And thank you. See you next time.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Last but not least, Adam Coble, some shout outs, then we'll do our goals and XP.
So I got a Q&A thread as usual for all of y'all. If you have questions or just want to like talk about how great Doug is, you can do that on community.itmeJP.com. I posted that up there just now. Thanks for coming to episode 96, everybody. You will see me again pretty damn soon. We got a little extra stuff going on with that Christmas with Cox. I get to play, and not only do I get to play, I get to play the game that I wrote. So that's going to be a fun time. So if you want to watch me and Jesse and Dodger and Elspeth and JP do the Christmas Dungeon World thing, keep an eye out for that. We're going to be doing character creation tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, Wednesday night.
If you're a Patreon, Patreon backer, you'll get to check that out. Otherwise, I'm over on Twitter at skinnyghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble, where I have been just doing a lot of game development. If you want to see how an RPG is made, pop on over there. I've been working on this Womb of Night game, so that's kind of what I've been up to. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Let's do some goals.
XP.
Yeah,
XPs. All right, so Ramus, I feel like you found out if you could trust Yodazo with the truth. I feel like that was a big moment. It's kind of significant.
Yeah,
we're well past that one. I like it. I love that moment, and I want to talk about that a bunch in the post show because this episode was so good. Let me give you some XP for that. So that one is worth 2,400 experience points. Okay. All right. And I don't think you worked on your other two. I was mostly focused on the temple and then kind of like pursuing that. Maharib, did you determine if Yota is a worthy fighter?
Yeah, he's not. So
Okay. All right.
Maharib's eyes, he is not.
Sure. Yeah, and that's fine. Like that's an option. Okay, so that's worth 1,200 experience.
Okay.
And then did you mend your relationship with Yotazo by participating in that?
Man,
that
I
battle?
fucking made that shit worse. That got real bad. That is a negative.
I think you tried and you failed. So yeah, so you'll get 500 experience for trying at that one.
Okay.
And you learned a mystery of the Temple of the Moon. You learned that they have a series of lunar pathways that allow them to move from temple to temple in secret.
Right.
So that's worth another
1,200.
I think another 1,200. Yeah, another 1,200.
Cool.
Okay. Yotazo. Let's see. Your goals were get to know Berg better, which you didn't have an opportunity to do. You did teach a lesson about drunken fighting to the Moon Acolytes. They have learned a valuable lesson. So that is worth. That's worth. Let's see. 2,400 experience for you.
I learned your fighting style sucks.
But the real lesson wasn't you should do this. The real lesson was don't take things at face value, and when people claim to be one thing, make them prove that they're that thing. Cool. And then ask the monastery to help Ramus. I think you worked towards it, but we were focused on the we found another thing to chase after. So that's another 500 for working on that one.
I'm sorry. What was the third one for? Oh, the third one.
It was 500 for the Ask the Monastery, and then another 2,400, so 2,900 total for this session.
Okay.
And then Berg, you worked on helping Ramus find a cure for his ailment. So you get 500 experience for that one.
Yay.
Cool. So we know that next time you'll be traversing the bridge of the moon. You'll be heading south into the jungle and seeing what we find at the other end of the path.
Cool. All right. That'll be next Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, as we always play on Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow we got Drop Frames. No Far Verona coming in hot right off the presses. That's been next at the last minute. So
It's not my fault. Everyone's sick.
it's
okay?
true. Yeah. 2 people are sick
Yeah.
and Anne's in London. So
I've been
Sick
fighting
or
sickness.
English? I haven't looked at the channel yet. That was gonna be the first thing I did. Okay, so that's the deal for tomorrow. Okay.
yeah.
Got it. Good.
Yeah. So
to know. Thank you.
that just means that there's more time for mapping tomorrow.
If you just want a show of me and Adam and I'm just Booker and Booker's just going around the ship drinking, we can do that, but I don't think anybody wants.
Yeah, I will learn how to play the muted trumpet, and you can just self-narrate for 4 hours.
Yeah, it'll
Like,
be
I
one of
knew
those
it.
episodes where it's just that'll be our
I
like.
knew she was a synth the moment she walked into the space door. Yeah, good.
It's all in a
Good. We'll
holiday.
do it all in black and white. It'll be primo art house shit.
Nice. And then also, I guess we can say this on. So the next show is going to be the 97th on the 18th. We will skip a show on the 25th and on the 1st. Then another show 98 on the 8th, and then 99 on the 15th, and then on the 19th, which is the live show date, we'll be doing Court of Swords episode 100 here in the new studio. So it's going to be the first live show of 2019. Looking to do
I'm excited.
a bunch
What are you
next year.
I'm so excited. I was stressed out because I was like, I gotta figure out what 100, like what that is, and like what's gonna be the big thing. And this episode, I was like, oh, I got it. Yes, that's totally what we're gonna do. And now I'm so hyped. I'm gonna do some. We'll talk about it more when we get there. But I'm gonna do some prep for that if you want to see the behind the scenes. But we're gonna do a big thing. I gotta get ready for this 8 hours of chaos. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I'm
We
really
also might
looking
not
forward
go
to it.
8 hours. That's kind of in flux. We might just go for like 6 or 7 because
Yeah.
if you've watched the 8-hour shows before, around 7 and 8, we're all just kind of like, and then what? What happened?
I think it depends. It depends on the episode, but yeah, we'll figure out how we want to do it.
8 hours is a lot. So yeah, that's still in flux, but it should be starting at 1 o'clock Eastern on the 19th. By the way, if you're also new, live means that everyone is going to be flying into the
right.
RollPlay studio and we'll be live and in person, sitting around a desk and all that good stuff. There are past live episodes if you want to watch that stuff on YouTube. So
Yeah, they're
that's
really
it
cool.
though. Yeah, I think we're all pretty excited for it. Should be fun. First time doing it here in the studio in St. Louis. So a lot of stuff to. We still got to build like the actual set. So still a lot of stuff to be done, but not too worried about it. It'll be nice having those 2 weeks off on the 25th and the 1st because that's probably what's going to be the time where that stuff is built. But anyways, that's enough about that stuff. We're going to get out of here, go record that post show for Patreon. And we will see you guys next week for episode 98, 97. One of those two, whatever I said earlier. We're out. Bye-bye.